All right, here are my favorites from the week of March 15th through the 21st. And it starts out with some more of the First Light La Jolla multicolored silhouette shots. Still trying to figure out exactly what I'm going for on some of these. This one I really liked. I think what I'm going for is a combination of definition of the subject, but really the color and texture overwhelming it. I think this one hits that. These are run. This was a little earlier, maybe a little bit less light. So I was actually running these ones on relatively slow shutter speed for me. They were down in the 1/800, which for the length of lens I was shooting is pretty slow for me. Another one I liked with the line across it. This one was relaxing. Something about the colors. When you're shooting into the glare in those mornings, you kind of get this. It's not the widest spectrum, but there's like a spectrum of light, and then it sort of deadens out. And then in the color, there might be a section of one color, and then it rolls into another color, kind of like this. Same thing, relatively slow shutter for what I was trying to do, which makes a little fuzzy as subject. There's a ton of cormorants there right now. This one I kind of liked. I don't know, something about it. This sea lion was sitting on the edge of the rocks, and I liked the coloring and the textures, how it's like almost like a water blanket or something. I'm not exactly sure what speaks to me. Maybe it's that it's turned around looking at me. But yeah, I liked that one. This one was a bummer. These are on my website under the conservation page. There's a bunch of different images that you're welcome to use that have entanglements or man-made injuries, and I try not to shoot gruesome stuff because I don't know that the gruesome is helpful if you're trying to do a charity or do a cleanup, but it's just something like this where it's a bummer. You can see this pelican's going to have a hard time. It's got a fishing entanglement, and anyway, those images are available on the website, and I actually offer those complimentary to any of the grassroots charities that want to use them and whatever. This one I liked. The details. This one seemed really popular with the people I sent it around to. Also, this is taking advantage of kind of that first blast of light to really add to the depth of the story here, which I'm getting more focused on that. For a long time I was just kind of shooting wildlife, and now I'm sitting there waiting for the light to do what I want, and I'm watching these other photographers shoot in light that I'm kind of so about. I feel kind of like a snot, I guess, but I do wait for that little bit of light. Speaking of, same thing, kind of first light. Sea lions coming up through the splashes. These were fun. I went out on a little boat this week. Actually, we'll talk about this image first. It was an absolute bathtub this week out on the ocean. And I was out with a small rib company called Net Zero Expeditions. And I was able to capture this, which I really liked. Something about the distinct coloration and the contrast around this common dolphin's eye I really enjoyed. This file is shot, I believe, on a less zoom but a faster lens of mine. 13. Let's see if I can find the data real quick. Yeah, it's on the very top, which is why I can't find it. So yeah, this is shot at an aperture of 4, which helps give it a little bit less depth of field, but it also allowed me to shoot. This is 1/4000th of a second at 400 ISO, and it's zoomed at 122 millimeters. So this is the smaller lens, and that really comes into play on these shots that I snapped for Net Zero. And what that is, I try to give some of these boats images that they can use for whatever they want. So this lens is able to capture the detail here on the common dolphin, but we sort of depth the field out on the person, and it gives it kind of a nice classic look. I mean, it was just, I can't say how bathtub flat it was that day. Another look at a common dolphin racing along with us. And then we actually came across cow-calf humpbacks that were in the area, and it was they were definitely fun. They were super inquisitive. So, usually the humpbacks can be inquisitive, but when they have the little ones with them, it's often more inquisitive. So in this image, you can see the mom's tail throwing the water, and then the little one from the dorsal all the way to the splash guard. And this is another one. I couldn't decide which one I liked. I think I liked the splash guard one. These ones I always like where there's, when it's a cow-calf or a pup or whatever, where you can get the size concept. Now it's a little bit cheated because the smaller one's in the background, but you get the idea. Mom was putting her tail up to go on a little dive. This one I found really interesting. When they came to investigate the boat a couple different times, and they shut the motor off, put it in neutral, so we're just floating with these guys. But in the second image, right here, you can see that this is the smaller humpback, the calf that's coming out to investigate us. It's got its blowholes closed, so it's actually coming up just to look at the boat and look at us and investigate. It's not actually taking a breath here, which I'd never really captured before. I'm sure it's happened on boats I've been on, but I've never really noticed it before. But so it stood out, and a couple of the naturalists I know thought it was kind of interesting. An idea of how close little one was getting to us. This is an image I liked based on, again, you can kind of see the scale difference between the calf here slightly in the background on the left, and then the mom here on the right. You got the dorsal fin to the splash guard, and here you've got the dorsal fin to the splash guard. These images tend to do well for me too, for kids' bedrooms and bathrooms and stuff. Snapped a photo of San Diego Whale Watch of Privateer out that day. We were picking up a ton of balloons with Net Zero, which was cool, and was able to see these guys shooting by, so I snapped a photo of it and sent that over to them. I always like sending photos to the different companies that I enjoy working with, and San Diego Whale Watch is definitely one. This next one's kind of the same concept. I actually went up to Orange County and jumped on a boat up there and was able to snap this photo of a fin whale crossing the bow. Now, the telephoto lens makes this distance look much closer than it really is. Same with the distance to the beach. It's, we were 2 miles off. It doesn't necessarily look like 2 miles because of the lens distortion. So this boat is at an appropriate distance, but I was able to give this to the research vessel Sea Explorer, and it's with the Dana Point Institute down there. I forget the name, but let's see. Yeah, where is the name? Oh, they hit me up on Instagram, that's why. But it is Ocean Institute. Yeah, don't know why I couldn't remember that really well. Anyway, so if you see this image in any of their stuff, that was one of mine, which is, it's always fun to see these things get repurposed by groups like that. And then the fin whales, again, they were up in Orange County as well. So we must have a lot of krill off the coast. Exhaling fin whale, it's a lot of exhale. I always enjoy when I get the part of the rostrum before the splash guard, just because it's kind of not up for all that long, so it feels like it's a challenge. Same thing here. You can see the flat front of the rostrum on this fin whale as it starts to exhale, and then you can just barely make out the gray lower jaw. So this is one of the, I think it's one of very, very few animals that's asymmetrically colored. So its right side has a gray lower jaw, and on the other side it's dark. It's the same color as the rest of the body. And then, yeah, I think that wraps us up for the week. So if you enjoyed this and you're interested in any more of the photo details and you're on my site, scroll down. There's a little bit more details about all of them, including shutter, aperture, ISO, and the zoom distance for all of them. If you're on a video hosting site, I'm going to link my website over. Feel free to jump over and check it out. I look forward to doing another one of these next week.